having for dinner tonight? I don't know. What's in the fridge? The classic question that everyone asks. This bowl of food was made from purely things I had in the fridge. I haven't been shopping this week and I wanted to see if we could still make something delicious. And it took me 10 minutes to make. I didn't go to the shops and I guarantee you've got half the ingredients too. Okay, this week's episode's slightly different. I thought let's cover you guys at home, right? So, as you know, I often create recipes. I make them, I show you how to do them. But what that means is I have to go to the shop and buy lots of ingredients. And I know that we are all feeling the pinch. Groceries are becoming more expensive, everything is going up in price. So, I thought we'd do a little bit of inspo from what is in the fridge. Okay, you can ask my boyfriend this. You know, I would much prefer to use something up maybe that we already have. It might not be what you want, but it saves something going in the bin. Which I would always prefer. I just hate food going in the bin. It is my biggest pet peeve. So as you can imagine, usually when I film, we have dinner for a couple of days, but I have not been shopping yet, so let's get to the fridge. Okay, let's get in the fridge, see what we've got. Oh my, the fridge is most certainly bare. We've got condiments galore. They're very useful. I think there's some coconut cream there. I've got some leftover rice. I've got some creamed corn, a bit of yogurt, sweet, no good for dinner. We've got some cheese. We've got a can of tuna, half a can of tuna. Not my fave because it's smoky flavour, but you know, maybe we can use that. Then the condiment shelf. Always lots of condiments, always bits and bobs. You can always find something in there. Now, okay, the veggie drawer. Oh, the fridge is beeping. 1 second. Are you gonna stop? Yeah. We've got some mushrooms, 2 peeled carrots, bit of lemon. Not sure what's in here. Let's have a look. Oh, onion, handy, half a bit of onion. And then what have we got down here? Bit of broccoli, bit more onion, classic. Some carrots, some coriander. That's the fridge. And next, let's have a look in the cupboard. Spices, oils, that kind of stuff. Canned items, more tuna and lentils and rice. As you can see there. I mean, maybe it's a slightly extreme selection of what's left, but I definitely don't need to go to the shops. I also forgot, I've got eggs. When you really think that there's not much to make, you can always probably pull something together for dinner that maybe doesn't cost a lot, maybe is already something you have, just so long as maybe you've got a few, even just spices, maybe an egg. You know, yes, I'm lucky I've got some coriander, but that was only because we bought it the other week. Again, I got a broccoli the other week. I've already used the stalk. I had a few mushrooms. I understand that not everyone is going to have fresh produce, but even if you've got dried, we can still make something utterly delicious. If you've only got the most basic of onion, garlic, carrot, you can make something great. So, I think I've pretty much decided what I'm going to make. I've also got some cream corn here, so I think we're going to make a little stir-fried rice with some veggies, a little bit of soy, and an egg on top. A little bit of cream corn in it. Might not sound very exciting, but when you haven't got a lot, you can still make something delicious. So, let's get a little bit of prep done, and then I think we can probably make it. So what I'm thinking for this fried rice is maybe we dice a little bit of the onion, we're gonna slice a little bit of garlic, we're gonna chop up some coriander, slice up the mushrooms, slice up the carrot. I don't think I'm gonna use the broccoli because that's looking pretty good, so maybe we'll just put him to one side. And then we've got a lime for the end. Yeah, and then we'll sort of see what we've got in the cupboard to go with it, but otherwise I think we'll be pretty good. And that's it. A few minutes later, my prep is done. We've got garlic, we've got mushrooms, I've got a little bit of carrot, some onion, coriander, a couple of wedges of lime, my already cooked rice. and that cream corn. And I'm just gonna add an egg. I also got out of the cupboard some soy sauce and some sesame oil. Very little in the seasoning department, but we'll turn this into something delicious. I know that you might not have these exact ingredients at home, but this is just more of a visual so that you can see that you don't need a lot to make a meal. I mean, there's quite a lot of stuff there. This is gonna be more than enough for one person. And all of this is left over. I decided not to use the broccoli because I thought I've actually got enough here. And these are pretty basic things. Okay, maybe you don't have the mushrooms, but I would imagine that most people would have onion and garlic at home. And even with onion and garlic, you can still make an amazing fried rice. And yeah, that's it. I've kept my scraps here. They're gonna go into my bag in the freezer so I can keep them all for stock for another day. A great way to use up your food scraps. And otherwise, I think we can get this guy on. And the other thing, a little bit of chili crunch. Again, you know, these condiments, maybe you don't have them, but I would imagine most people probably have some Tabasco or some kind of chili sauce at home, maybe sriracha. You could add that on instead, on top. If you didn't have soy sauce, you might have maybe some miso paste. You might have something else that's salty. Can't think of anything at this very moment in time. But it's all about adapting to what you maybe already have. This is often a really easy thing to get together because I can guarantee that most of you out there nearly always cook extra rice. Don't throw it in the bin, use it another day. You could be someone's lunch, you could make it into a salad for someone to take to work. There is plenty of ways to use what you've got in the fridge when you think you've got nothing for dinner. So let's get to the stove and we're gonna get this cooked up. And in 5 minutes time, we're gonna be eating. So all up, that's taken me maybe 10 minutes, not very long. So what we're gonna do is get these pans working. So the small pan is for the eggs, but the large pan is gonna be for our rice. So warm it up, add a touch of that sesame oil first, and then we're gonna fry off the onions and the mushrooms and get them working. We're gonna add a tiny bit more oil, and then we're gonna add in the carrots and the garlic. And then we're gonna add in the rice and we're just gonna squash it all down so that it can fry on the bottom of the pan. It's a great idea not to overcrowd the pan here because then all the rice can get a little bit crispy. Now we're gonna get the egg on while that's working. Get your pan nice and hot, drop of oil, egg in, lid on. Let's get it steaming on top, working real fast. Now that rice is all heated up, I'm gonna add in a spoonful of the cream corn, mix it all together. The egg's done. Let's plate this bad boy up. And there it is, all plated up. Apologies you didn't see me plate it. The camera was off. Haven't done that in a while, but there you go. So this is it. Here's that bowl. Here's that delicious bowl of food. I mean, the egg, delicious. The rice with that cream corn. It might have sounded weird, but it works. It just gives everything a nice soft texture. I mean, you could see there in the pan, the rice had slightly stuck. Maybe I hadn't put enough oil in, but you certainly wouldn't need to put any more sesame oil in because sesame oil is super strong. You might have just wanted a touch more oil in there, or maybe just a little bit of a higher heat. But that's not what this episode is about. It's about showing you that you can still make some amazing food when you think you've got nothing in the house. And it all only took me 10 minutes to make. I mean, quick and simple. Not every meal of every night of the week has to be gourmet. And I can guarantee that tonight, if you're not sure what to make, well, just go and look in the fridge, in the cupboard. I'm sure you'll be able to pull something together. I'd love to know what's in your fridge, what you're making with it, and how it turned out. Did this inspire you not to go to the shops because you thought, you know what, there's probably already something in the fridge? Let me know. And that's it. This week, just a little bit of food for thought. You know, there's people out there that can't afford to eat. There's people out there that don't have the luxury of going to the supermarket all the time. So be good with your food, don't waste it, and make yourself something delicious with what's in the fridge. And I will see you guys next week. Ciao.